This is a continuation of the guide for building water features. I've moved over to my Finch Farms build because I'm going to show how I created this moving water, or working water fountain basically. So this is my load order taking so long to load. This is a custom fountain that somebody created and I used a mod to install it. This fountain is also very large, so I scaled it down. I used the 1 and 3 I just recently talked about to scale it down. So right now it was at a 70% size, so I'm going to bring it back up to 70. So yeah, I decreased it from 100 to 70. And for this piece, I used a lot of the build your own pool mod that I was talking about previously, because it's got easy to work with round pieces. So for that, it's at the very end of my build menu, B.Y.O.P. The markers are big and chunky, and something I always try to keep in mind is you have to elevate these above where you want the water to actually fall. So the water line is actually down at this level of the fountain, but you have to put it this high up to get it to... So basically the bottom of this piece is where the water actually starts. That's something to keep in mind when you're using this. This water, when you exit the build mode, turns into the regular murky water that you see in most ponds around the Commonwealth. I would like it to be clearer, but it doesn't really matter for waterfalls. I'm sorry, water fountains, since they're so small. So I used, you can see a size difference here. I also scaled these up to match the size of the fountain, so that's why this looks so different. So for example, this piece right here was at 140% scale. So those are the base pieces there. And for the other pieces, Build Your Own Pool has waterfall markers as well, much like the SOE pack. However, theirs are the blue pieces that turn into water once you exit the mode, which they're just harder for me to work with because I can't remember, honestly, sometimes which way this waterfall is facing, and I don't like exiting the build mode and re-entering to figure all of that out. It's frustrating for me, so I just stick to the SOE pack for building these little pieces up here. So for this next portion, let me move over there. Oops. And for this, I used the large pieces. One thing to note when you're building these pieces, you can play with this depending on what kind of water look you're looking for. I should have mentioned this in the Grey Garden part. Large, medium, and small run at different speeds. So it looks like middle is probably the fastest looking. And they also, all three of them have different sounds. So yeah, the difference is the large is a very long waterfall. And it's also narrow compared to the middle and the small, so something to keep in mind. I'm going to go ahead and scrap the mid and small ones so you can see the other ones that I was working with here. I have to clip up there to see this. Bring it back down. Sorry. Here we go. So now I'm going to lock this into... Well, actually, I'll just work with the small one already. So this piece right here is actually the same as this piece here. I just shrank it down massively. So, in order to get it to fit coming out of the lion's mouth. So I'm going to give you the idea of what size it is right now. One, shrinking it. So I set it down to a 20% scale, which now it's inside the fountain and I can't target it, so that's frustrating. So when that happens, I'm going to enter the fountain and try to find it here. Okay, I'm not going to waste your time. I'm going to move to another piece instead. So yeah, it's at a 20% scale compared to the original 100% there. And then I just used the numpad to move it into place, like I showed previously. And then when you move up the water fountain, I used the splash markers here that I was mentioning earlier. Because if I put a water pane up here, like down below, the higher up you put it, the water goes all the way down to the ground. So however high you put it, you can swim in that water. So if I put it up here, I would be able to walk into the water right here, which is very unrealistic. So I don't use water panes for these upper levels. That's why they're splash markers. So I believe this splash marker was a middle-sized one. No, it was a small size. It's either middle or small, and I shrank the size of it to get it to fit in the center portion. And then up here, I definitely used a small size one. And that's all I did to create this simple fountain. I also add lighting effects to it to make it kind of stand out at night. So I hope that helps. Thank you for your request. And I will try to make this more compact and to the point next time. Thank you for tuning in. And if you have any more requests, let me know. Bye.